Okay, this is question number 7, exercise 6.4, second FSC Karachi board. Let's by using the substitution method, let t equals x square plus 1, taking the derivative dt upon dx, that is 2x, and to get this x dx, I have to do this cross multiplication, like multiplying 2 down here in the denominator of dt and moving this dx up here with x dx, and now changing the limits by using t equals x square plus 1, the upper limit, that is 1, in place of x put 1 plus 1, the upper limit will be now 2, and the lower limit put this into the same equation, minus 2 whole square plus 1, and this gives me minus 2 whole square 4 plus 1 5. So these are the upper and the lower limits now, and now by substitution putting the limits, the new limits, and in place of this let's rearrange the question first, x dx. So this is basically with in multiplication between them, 2 5. Now put the value, x square plus 1 is t, x dx is dt upon 2. Move this 1 upon 2 which is here outside the, right here next to the integral, that is 1 upon 2 2 5. Okay, now write the limits, and in place of root I am going to write 1 upon 2 in the power. Now finding the integral, this will give me 1 upon 2 plus 1. We are using the simple methods and a simple procedure throughout the solution. So that gives us 3 upon 2 here, 3 upon 2 here, and the limits are 2 5, 1 upon 2. Move this 2 upon 3 up here, multiply by 2 upon 3, t power 3 upon 2. The limits are 2 and 5. We can write this, you can see here we are using some square brackets, and after that we are using this sum bar only. So this is the procedure. You can do it like this, or even you can just write 1 bar here. That means that you are going to put this upper and lower limits in place of t only. Okay, so 2 and 2 cancels out, 1 upon 3. Now putting the upper limit first, the process is to put the upper limit first into the question, minus 5 whole power 3 upon 2, 1 upon 3. That is, in place of this 2 power 3 upon 2, I can write 2 into 1 upon 2 minus 5 into 5 power 1 upon 2, right? So I can write just 2 under root 2 minus 5 under root 5. So this is the final answer. Question number 8. Okay, in this question, let's suppose take t equals sine x. So when we take the derivative dt upon dx, that gives us cos x, right? And we have cos x dx here, so the dt will be cos x dx, just moving this dx up here, And now changing the values of the upper limit and lower limit, we are going to put these values into sine x. So t equals sine x. So in place of x I am going to put this value of pi upon 6. So sine pi upon 6 means that is sine pi 180 divided by 6 is 30. So sine 30 is equal to 1 upon 2, right? This lower limit now, t equals sine that is pi upon 3. Pi upon 3 means sine 60. 180 divided by 3 is 60, and this gives this sine 60, that is equal to I think it's root of 3 upon 2. Yes, if you look into the table that is given in the book, in first year book, or there is a table available which gives such values. There is a certain values or fixed values which are given in the table. So this is root of 3 upon 2 sine 60. Okay, now using these values, so this one value, this one, and this one, just put all the values into the original question. The question becomes now, the upper limit is 1 upon 2, the lower limit is root 3 upon 2, and sine x, in sine place of sine square x put t square, and cos x dx, in place of cos x dx, that gives you dt, right? Now find the integral, that is t 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1, 1 upon 2, root of 3 upon 2. Okay, that is now t power 3 upon 3, 1 upon 2, root 3 upon 2, right? So taking out this 1 upon 3 outside here, t power 3, I'm going to put 1 upon 2, sorry, put the bars here. Okay, 1 upon 3, in place of t I'm going to put now 1 upon 2 whole power 3 minus root of 3 upon 2 whole power cube, 1 upon 3, that gives 1 upon 8, minus this gives 3. If you take the cube here, this will give you 3 whole power 3 upon 2 upon 8, right? So further simplification could be possible, like 1 upon 8. Now in place of this 3 whole power 3 upon 2, I'm going to apply this power 3 here, that gives me 27, and write this 1 upon 2 in form of square root divided by 8, right? So take the LCM of this. This is just simplification. Basically our answer just starts from this step, and we are doing just a simplification just to get an answer given in certain book or somewhere. So our main part is this one. So this part represents how you are going to simplify to get a simpler form. Okay, so we can consider this one as also as our answer. So 1 minus root of 27 upon 8, take this 8 outside, so that gives you 24. You can consider this as your answer, right? Or one more thing you can do, that is 1 minus 3 under root 3. This is also your answer. So these all steps represents answer, and this one shows the simplest. Further, this part you can't do anything. So this is your final answer. Okay guys, question number 9. We know that cos 2x equals 2 cos square x minus 1, that we have learned in previous formulas. So we can just cos 2x plus 1 and this move this 2 down here into the denominator. That gives us cos square x, right? So cos square x is equal to cos 2x plus 1 upon 2. So we are going to use this identity in our original question. So if you take the square on both sides, just first change this into just form, and now taking the squaring on both sides, that gives cos square x whole square and cos 2x plus 1 divided by 2 whole square, that gives cos 4x equals 1 plus 2 cos 2x plus cos square 2x upon 4. Okay, we are going to use this identity in our solution. First we are going to simplify this into a more simpler form. We can take 4 as a common outside. 1 plus 2 cos 2x plus cos square 2x, right? And cos power 4 equals 1 upon 4, right? We also know that cos 4x, that is equal to 2 cos square 2x minus 1, right? So we can also rearrange this one, cos 4x plus 1, that is, and also move this 2 into the denominator. That gives cos square 2x, right? Now we are going to use, by putting this cos square 2x in our equation number 1, add this one into equation number 1. What we can get? We can get that cos 4x equals 1 upon 4. We are going to substitute this value of this one right here. So 1 upon 4, that is 1 plus 2 cos 2x plus 1 plus cos 4x. This will give us a little bit lengthy solution. Now we can take the LCM right here and take this 2 outside here. This can become 1 upon 8, and after taking the LCM here, this will become 2 plus 4 cos 2x plus 1 plus cos 4x, right? So after you can see further we can add some parts here. 2 plus 1, that is 3 plus 4 cos 2x plus cos 4x, right? So now we can take the integral of this part, that is cos 4x. Now you can see cos 4x is equal to this whole part. We can take the integral now of this part. So that is pi upon 2, 0. In place of cos 4x, I am going to write 1 upon it. Just move this 1 upon it, do some direct steps. So you can write in exams or in your tests the step cos 4x dx, right? So now applying this integral individually on each part, that will give us, okay, I have applied the integral on each part. 3 becomes 3x and 4 cos 2x. This gives us sine 2x upon 2. We have taken 4 as outside. For cos 4x, that gives us sine 4x upon 4. These are the simple steps we have done in the previous solutions. Now using this upper limit in place of x here, here and here, minus using 0 in place of x, x and x, we get this step. Now you can see 1 upon 8, apply the zeros and pi upon pi 2. This first part gives 3 pi upon 2 plus 2 sine pi, as 2 and 2 cancels out, plus 1 upon 4 sine 2 pi, as 2 2s are 4, and this the first part minus the second part, this becomes 0, plus 2 sine 0, 2 sine 0 is 0 0, plus 2 sine 0 is also 0, plus 1 upon 4 sine 0. So the whole part you can see 1 upon 8. This gives us 3 pi upon 2 plus 2 sine 180 is also equal to 0, and sine 2 pi is also equal to 0. This one is 0 0 0, 1 upon 4, 0 plus 0 plus this sine 0 is also 0. So the whole part is becoming 0 except 3 pi upon 2. So this, you can see this whole part and this whole part is 0. So we are left with 3 pi upon 2, and this gives 3 pi upon 16 is our final answer.